What's going on, guys? This is Carl at the Racerred channel. I'm out here riding the mighty DRZ 400S. It's a little bit muddy, and I don't really have tires for it, so I may have to abandon this trail. We'll see. So far, so good, though. Oh, wow. Yeah, this stuff is way slick up in here. Anyways, that last video I was talking about the probable cause being tyranny, reasonable suspicion being tyranny, and it really is because officers don't use very good discretion sometimes, and unfortunately there are so many laws that you could put every single one of us in jail. So you have to use discretion. Is that person being a danger? And if not, then do you really need to mess with them? And so it's kind of a difficult situation right now for many officers because you have to use that discretion. I figured I would go through all of the situations I've been in personally and kind of give you an idea of what that tyranny looks like. My first ever time being pulled over was when I was learning how to drive. I was driving around in a parking lot, a private parking lot. I went onto a side street and into another parking lot. My dad was in the passenger seat. I didn't use my signal when I went into the other parking lot, and I got pulled over. I mean, it was like it was very little distance between the two parking lots. I was just learning how to drive, he was teaching me. I got a misdemeanor for that. That was a huge, huge ordeal. That was a big deal. That's an example of tyranny. That officer didn't use good discretion. My second run-in with the law was on a trip to Canada that we were doing when I had just turned 15, and we had decided to pass this car on the freeway because he was going way slow. We did pass him on the broken line, which is legal, but we didn't complete the pass quite before the double yellow line, and we got pulled over for that. The next one was when we were going riding with all of our dirt bikes. We got pulled over coming into a town for going 1 mile per hour over the speed limit. Lots of poor discretion being used here in a lot of the encounters I've had so far. Now, eventually I got a sport bike and I wasn't using very good discretion myself. Then I got pulled over doing 82 and a 65, and I was always going fast on that GSXR 1000. That officer reduced the speed so that I wouldn't get in more trouble, and only gave me, I think he said he put like 72 or something like that. So not as bad. I probably deserved to be pulled over on that one. I was going pretty fast. It was winter time. I was wearing all my gear, which he said that he appreciated. And then I got pulled over again, and this time the officer didn't see me do anything wrong. He just said that somebody else saw it, and he was right. But that said, I don't know if that evidence really makes sense to be able to use. Can you really go off of what somebody else calls in? They do a lot. The next one, I did a wheelie going down the road, just a low speed wheelie after leaving a stoplight. So that guy said he could have given me reckless driving, and he was right. I wasn't doing anything crazy. It was just a little roll-on wheelie. In my opinion, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Then I was stopped for absolutely no reason by an officer who said he heard me speeding around. I was doing the speed limit when he pulled me over. He didn't have even probable cause at all. But it is what it is. He pulled me over and lectured me. I was wearing a camera. I was clearly in the street racing mode at that time, so I deserved to be pulled over plenty, but I definitely didn't deserve to be pulled over at that time. And then I saw that same officer later on. I was on my way to a street race when he pulled me over. The funny thing about it is, we were on our way to the street race. I can't remember, maybe we had just got done with it actually. And we pulled into a Chevron. He pulled in with us. We were all doing the speed limit, making sure that we weren't doing anything illegal. That same officer came out and started lecturing me. And he's like, I know there's street races going on out here, and I believe, I was with two other riders. He said, I believe you too, but he pointed at me and said, I'm gonna punish you to the full extent of the law next time I see you. I know that you're street racing and you're getting in trouble out here and getting into trouble. And I was like, at that time, just dumbfounded. I was like, how is this possible? How is this guy getting so angry and so butthurt over us doing nothing wrong? And I told him that at the time. I said, but we haven't done anything wrong, right? I was being genuine. I was like, I don't know. You didn't pull us over. You just came into this gas station and started talking to us. None of us have done anything illegal. He got all pissed when I said that. This is where the complex comes in, the superiority complex, the sense of self-righteousness. It's a very dangerous thing. It can be a very dangerous thing. After that, I was with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and we were driving along, and she told me to slow down. There was a school zone, and I sped up just because I thought I was funny, and I got pulled over right away. I deserved that one. Definitely deserved that one. And so the one after that, I was just driving down the road with a friend of mine. I was taking him home because we carpooled to work, and I saw the officer in the median, and so I was kind of making a joke to my friend. I was like, well, he can't get us. I mean, I'm doing exactly the speed limit. And that officer did get us. He pulled us over, and he had absolutely no reason. Well, he said that my taillights were the wrong color, but they were the stock taillights. And so then he changed his reason to being my tint was too dark. So, okay. So, these are all situations that I've been in, and I wanted to kind of list them off real quick because there's a reason I'm saying that we live in tyranny, and that probable cause and reasonable suspicion are both tyranny, because you're giving these officers, some of which are real douchebags, you're giving them way too much power and authority. The next one, I was on my DRZ 400 on the highway going the speed limit, and I got pulled over there, and that guy was just full of himself. Just, yeah, a real piece of work. And, you know, it's probably starting to sound like I'm a little anti-police here, but I'm not. It's just I'm anti-douchebag, really. I mean, you just have to use discretion when you're doing police work. And if somebody is not a direct danger to somebody else, then you shouldn't be messing with them. You're a free American. All of us are free Americans. We shouldn't have to deal with being pulled over all the time over nonsense. So the next one is fairly recently. I got pulled over for this semi stopped in the left lane with no signal on, and it surprised me. So I, instead of slamming on my brakes, I just kind of used the median a little bit. I hit the brakes a little bit hard, and then I worked my way over and used the median. And Fruitland PD pulled me over and lectured me, and we kind of got in an argument over that one. I was like, I was just telling him this is a common practice. If somebody's in the road without using their signal and they slammed on their brakes, I just came over and used a little bit of the median. I don't think that's dangerous. But then there were instances that I did deserve to get pulled over because I was going fast. I was swerving in and out of traffic. Ada County pulled me over one time, and the officer was really nice and friendly about it, and he was like, yeah, just slow it down, don't get too crazy. There's good interactions like that, and I did listen to him. I absolutely did listen to that guy, and it's a lot better when you behave like that in these interactions. But I'll own the ones that I deserved, and I certainly did deserve some of it because I was doing stuff that was just not safe at all. And then the other one was I was on my way to register my ambulance as an RV. Got pulled over for that. Just checking my registration or whatever. There are many situations that you don't have to pull somebody over. You don't have to mess with people. You really don't have to. That's kind of what I'm talking about, guys. I made that last video on reform, and you know, and if I was emperor of the land, I don't think a lot of people would like it. I think because for one, I would have a pretty harsh death penalty. Some people, if they can't live in society and they've done something horrible, they just need to be put down. That's my opinion. Then I would have a 3-tier prison system where the most violent offenders get a boot camp type situation where they actually get retribution style prison where they are not made comfortable at all. They don't get TVs. They just have a horrible life. Yeah, the violent guys, they all get that. And that wouldn't have to be a big facility, just a little facility, because most people in prison right now are non-violent offenders. It's just the prisons are filled with them. So that would be tier 1 is the violent guys. Tier 2 would be kind of guys who are thieves and things like that. Tier 3 would be the complete like financial crimes and things like that. But anyways, I don't think that prisons are how they should be by any means right now. Anyways, it's getting a little cold out here. I'm going to head home. Thanks for listening to me rant about all of my situations. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.
Alright guys, I just wanted to thank my Patreon supporters. That would be Lance Darnell, Jim Jolson Jr., Kurt Kinghorn, Daniel Roush, Brian Thomason, Wade James, Moto Creek, Nathan Young, Jason Froling. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you.